Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something, well, truly tragic, an event that really shook the entire nation. We're talking about June 12th, the crash of Air India flight AI-171.
A horrific incident. Just devastating.
Absolutely. The numbers themselves are stark. 242 people on board that flight.
And 241 lost their lives. Just unimaginable.
It really is. But today, we're focusing on a specific aspect of this tragedy, something that adds another sort of layer of national impact.
You mean the VVIP passengers?
Exactly. The presence of very, very important people on that flight, it brings a different dimension to the grief, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
And the most prominent name our sources confirmed, someone almost everyone would know, was Gujarat's former chief minister, Vijay Rupani.
Yes, Mr. Rupani, a major figure.
For anyone unfamiliar, VVIP usually refers to high-ranking officials, dignitaries, people in positions of significant public trust.
And the details around Mr. Rupani are quite specific and, frankly, quite grim. He was traveling from Ahmedabad to London.
On official business, the sources said.
Yes. An official trip, he was seated in business class. But the condition after the crash.
Difficult to talk about, I imagine.
Very. The report stated his body was severely damaged. Identification actually required dental forensics.
Wow, that really underscores the sheer violence of the crash.
It does. And the government did officially confirm his passing. It's a stark reminder, isn't it? In something this catastrophic, status offers no protection.
No, none at all.
India lost a senior leader there, someone who was, face of Gujarat politics for a long time.
Yeah.
His absence is, well, it's deeply felt.
A profound individual loss within a massive tragedy. But were there others? Did the sources mention any other VVIPs specifically?
That's where it gets a bit unclear. Air India hasn't confirmed other specific names, at least not officially.
But there were indications.
There were. Sources suggested several industrialists might have been on board, also NRI doctors and relatives of Indians living overseas.
So potentially more prominent people whose stories we might never fully know?
Exactly. Some names tragically lost before they even really surfaced publicly. It's quite sobering.
It really is. And what about the immediate response, especially considering the potential presence of VVIPs?
Well, interestingly, the airport authority's VVIP safety team was reportedly among the very first responders at the crash site.
The VVIP team specifically?
Yes, which tells you something about the protocols, or at least the immediate concerns, right? Though, tragically, they arrived too late to help anyone.
A procedural response meeting a devastating reality?
Precisely. And we also saw Prime Minister Modi express deep sorrow. He personally went to Ahmedabad to review the relief efforts.
That high-level attention certainly highlights the national significance, especially with a figure like Rupani confirmed among the victims.
Absolutely. It wasn't just another accident. It hit close to the heart of the government and the public consciousness.
So pulling this together, the nation is left reeling and asking some really hard questions based on what we've read.
Oh, definitely. The biggest one being, how could a disaster of this magnitude even happen?
Right. Was the aircraft sound? Had it passed its technical checks? There's intense focus on that.
And the black box data, maintenance logs, all under scrutiny. Were there any warnings, any signs beforehand?
And then there's the security question, especially with VVIPs aboard. Were they given full security? Or perhaps more fundamentally, did basic safety protocols fail everyone equally?
These questions are just hanging there, aren't they? Unanswered. Lingering.
They are. And the overall toll, it's staggering.
It is. The initial reports mentioned the 241 on board, but some later figures, possibly including ground impact or revised counts, pushed the total lives lost related to this incident towards 279 lives.
279 lives, including, as you said, a leader whose place really can't be filled.
A devastating loss for the country, whichever way you look at it.
So as we wrap this up, you're left thinking, after such a high-profile tragedy, with these questions still unanswered, what are the real lessons here?
About aviation safety, yeah. And about those protocols.
Exactly. How do we reevaluate the systems meant to protect everyone, particularly those holding public trust, when something like this occurs? It really forces a difficult conversation.
It certainly does. A conversation that needs to happen.